about 14 and a half years ago. I was in this studio. It was the middle of the night because I used to work on the overnight hours. And I was presenting a blood pressure monitor. And there was a guest called Nurse Matthew Peters, and we were here, and he took my blood pressure as we were presenting this blood pressure monitor. And I'll never forget the look on his face. He looked, and his eyes widened. And he said something that, oh, we'll do the reading later. After the show, I said, Nurse Matt, why did you look like that? He said, Adam, you need to go to the doctor immediately. What are you talking about? He said, your blood pressure is dangerously high. So at that point, back in 2007, I'm 27 years old. I've just moved over from England. I'm young, right? I'm a kid. What do you mean my blood pressure's high? What are you talking about? I go to the doctor, I find out my blood pressure was at critical levels. Why, doctor? Why is it so high? Well, you've moved to a new country, you're stressed, you're not eating properly, you're working in the middle of the night. We can solve it though, we can fix it, we can help you. And they helped me. If I hadn't been on TV that night with Nurse Matthew Peters, I'd have never have known my blood pressure was so high. And if I didn't know my numbers, that could have been a critical situation. Ever since that day back in 2007, I have said the same thing. I have said every one of us needs to know our numbers. What upset me was that night after I left work. I obviously couldn't take the blood pressure monitor I had, and I couldn't wait any time, so I went straight to the drugstore, and I went to the blood pressure aisle. $70, $90, $150 for a blood pressure monitor? Well, what's the difference between that one and that one at $40? I don't know. I remember the lady said, she said, I don't know. I said, well, I don't know either. Let me read these statistics to you. And I only say this because it's important to me. When something happens to you, you know it kind of takes on a life of its own. But listen to this. This is crazy. About 75 million American adults, that's 32%, have high blood pressure. That's 1 in every 3. About half of people with high blood pressure have their condition under control. Nearly 1 in 3 has pre-hypertension, blood pressure numbers that are higher than normal. High blood pressure costs the nation $46 billion. The real cost is in life. The real cost is in death. The real cost is in not knowing. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Raquel and the team for making this special delivery happen tonight. I've not had the opportunity to present a blood pressure monitor in nearly a year. They have brought in for me the lowest priced blood pressure monitor ever. Let's reveal the special delivery. While supplies last, they took the price down to $19 and change and free shipping and handling. Why? Because now there can be no excuse. Now there's every reason, every opportunity to get a blood pressure monitor home so you can check your blood pressure out. Bigger than normal, larger than normal LCD display, memory storage, 2 people can store 60 readings each. This is an easy one. This is a simple one. I don't have wires and cables running up and down my arm. Normally when we do blood pressure monitors, we always do, you know, good deals versus what I saw anyway. $40, $50, $60, $70, at $19 and change and free shipping. This is for everybody, everybody. Because when you know your numbers, well, we can do something about it. And that's what the doctor said to me that night. I was devastated, right? Because you know, when you're young, you think you're invincible, right? But they told me, look, we've got some medication, we're gonna change your diet, we're gonna change your lifestyle, and we can get this under control. And to this day, I have this under control. When you buy this tonight, we're including a lifetime warranty. That's a lifetime warranty. Notice the buttons here, simple and easy, you can't get this wrong. 780 people placing orders right now. If you would like to order yours, I mean, please order it. If you know your numbers, you can do so much about it. I want to introduce you to the gentleman that was there that night, who I credit with saving my life. He is HSN's nurse, registered nurse, Mr. Matthew Peters. Matt, thank you for being on my anniversary show. To this day, 14 years later, I still thank you, because honestly, without you, well, honestly, I don't know where I'd be.
That was the face, everybody, when I saw Adam's blood pressure reading. And Adam, I love to share that story. We can joke about it now. and it's a little bit in jest because everything's okay. I want everybody watching the show right now to take one important lesson from Adam's story, and I see this all the time, and it doesn't have the same positive outcome, is that they call high blood pressure the silent killer for a very good reason. If you look at Adam Freeman, he looks like he's in great shape. He did back in the day as well. And you know what? Underneath the surface, his blood pressure was dangerously high. If that happens to you, if you're one of those people that are on those statistics, you probably don't even know it unless you get it checked and you get something like Veridian home. My mom had a heart attack years ago. The takeaway was she's doing fine today, but her doctor said, Dorothy, you have to take your blood pressure every single day. Now, this Veridian monitor, like Adam said, is going to store 120 readings in memory. Do not be fooled by the price. That's the other reason I had this face. Veridian has been around for 40 years. I represent them with HSN. We love them as a brand because they bring you accurate to clinical standards product. So this is what you get, everybody. You get 120 readings in memory. You get the systolic. You get the diastolic. You get that color-coded hypertension indicator over this side. So if you don't know what 118/74 means, Veridian tells you that it's in the green. You're safe, you're good. You get your heart rate. It's going to even pick up on an irregular heartbeat if you have that, so you can work with your doctor. Folks, here's the bottom line. You're going to take this information. It's non-invasive. In the comfort of your own home as you're looking at. You get everything from Veridian. You get the batteries, you get the carrying case. It's portable, it's discreet. You're gonna take that trending information and with peace of mind, you're gonna communicate with your doctor. You're gonna work with your doctor to live a safer and more comfortable life, just being at ease, knowing that you have those numbers under control. Adam.
Well, with 1,000 orders coming through right now, it's just, you know, I'm over the moon, and I can't stress enough how much I'm grateful to the team at Veridian Health, who quite frankly are the leaders in this area. This is the most requested style of blood pressure monitor because it's easy, it's simple. Matt, I'd love to talk about that for a second because some of them can be a little awkward, a little complicated. With this, easy to place, easy to press, easy to read. It is the simplest of all the blood pressure monitors, and especially with the new upgraded extra large display.
Yeah, Adam, as you're looking at it there, it's going to fit a wrist size from 5.5 to 7.5 inches. And all you're going to do is just fasten that hook and loop enclosure right around your wrist. It's easy, and I have it on just like this. So let me move over. Okay, so let me move over here. It's easy. You have one button operation. So that one button over on the top gets you started. It's a 30-second reading. That's it. Accurate to clinical standards. Then you have a memory button on the right below that. So that's going to keep track of those 120 readings. So you separate 60 readings for you, 60 readings for a loved one. It's an incredible value. And here's the thing, anywhere you need it, if you're starting an exercise regimen, which we all are trying to get a little healthier, especially coming out of the pandemic, exercising, even with a walking program, you want to make sure you're safe. And how do you do that? You're armed with the critical information so that you can work with your team of doctors to get potential problems under control. It's absolutely a must-have to get it home today, especially with a limited lifetime warranty that Veridian gives you. They do it for a reason because it's a quality product.
We don't have a ton of these left now, and I want to encourage you, if you would like to order it, to start making your way to the phone. We have about 4 or 5 minutes left, and that's it. 3 flex pay, free shipping and handling, brand new in the box. You know, I always find that over the years, you know, I was on a phone call the other day with the hosts, and we were talking about stuff. And I think as I've got older, I've found it easier to share personal stories. You know, you become more comfortable in your own skin, and you just, you know, you become, I suppose, more kind of free-spirited. And you know, me sharing that story with you is simply because I want to make somebody realize that you might know it, but you could have dangerously high blood pressure. That day rings in my mind. I'll never forget it. It was probably 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, you know, and was presented a blood pressure monitor. And when I took when Nurse Matt was here, and he took my blood pressure, and he looked at the screen, and he looked away, and I could see something was wrong. I didn't understand what was wrong. But then after the show, when he said, Adam, you got to see somebody right now. I didn't want to say what your numbers were on air because I didn't want to embarrass you. I mean, that really happened. And I went to I went straight to buy one. All night long, I'm taking my blood pressure every 3 seconds. What is it now? What is it now? And it kept on being in the red, dangerously high. You have got to know your numbers. You've got to know your numbers, no matter what the age. If you don't have a blood pressure monitor, for heaven's sake, make this the only thing you buy today, but get one of these because it's so vital, so important. It's not the end of the world. You could do something about it. You can make changes. You seek advice, but you don't know unless you know. Matt, forgive me. It's so a part of my life now that, you know, when you described it as the silent killer, it's just that. In too many cases, people don't know it until it's too late.
Yeah, Adam, we're going to go back to those stats, but one quick thing I want to share about your story too. There's a little bit of embarrassment and a stigma, unfortunately. So when you looked at me and I shared with you that high reading and I said, Adam, you know, there might be a problem here. I know that, you know, and I don't mean to get you in trouble, Adam, but I know you were concerned about maybe, you know, will my wife think, you know, oh, this is an emergency. I don't want to worry my loved ones. Yep. And that's oftentimes what we think. We put our head in the sand. We end up in an emergency room or worse. So back to those statistics, everybody, 1 in 3 of us has high blood pressure in this country. So that's 75 million Americans, but only half of us have it under control. Another group equally as large, 75 million, that's another 1 out of 3, has that undiagnosed pre-hypertension. One final thought on this as an example at home. Once you get this home, once you're in that safe zone working with your doctor, maybe you're on blood pressure medications. My mom is as well. She uses this now to regulate her blood pressure medications with her doctor. And I'll give you an example. She makes sure that the readings are in line with what her doctor thinks they should be with those blood pressure medications. That way she feels great and she's safe, Adam. I know we're running out of time. Thank you, everybody, for getting this home for yourself or a loved one. It's one of the most important, if not the most important things you're going to do.
Matt, I'll say again, thank you, my friend. I appreciate you forever and a day. I'll see you next time for more greatness on HSN. Bye. Thank you, Matt. Thank you for all of your orders. Stay right there. We are counting you in. I didn't want to lower the tone, but it was important to me that you understand. All right, let's keep going. Big, big, big show. Next hour,